Okay, see,
I got
okay.
I have these two papers from Troyer, who will be the engineer for the grants that we're gonna get. And they just need some signatures. Basically tells what, and it says engineer being Troyer. Tells what they're gonna do, kind of their timeframes. They kind of bill accordingly. And then I think in here it says like what they'll do in November and December, what they'll do in December, February, just a different timeline of what they're gonna do, and then their total fee for all of the engineering, architectural, measuring, getting everything ready for the bids to go out and everything, and they just need signatures on that for that.
So out of that work, we'll have a number of the overall project cost, or do we have an estimate of what the project cost is going to be now?
So this that I need signed is just gonna be Troyer's part of it.
Right.
It's 97,400
Mhm.
for everything they do.
Right.
I don't think, I mean, we have so much to spend, but I don't think we'll know that until we get,
Their
bid.
work, until their work is done.
well, as we go. When it goes out to bid, they'll bid, you know, what the prices are and stuff when it goes to bid, and I think that says in here.
Yeah, it's something.
You want just the approval on the 97th.
Right,
And are we only paying a percentage of that
it'll be reimbursed,
from the grant?
right?
Do you know what the percentage is? The grant percentage, like is it 80-20? Is it 75-20?
It was 50-50.
50-50, okay.
And then once it's, you know, finally finalized, approved, then it will go out for bid, like North Judson just did, you know, a couple months ago. And it'll go out to bid. And I keep looking, it says complete construction April 2025, and it seems like forever away, but
Right,
you know,
That's-
it's
yeah.
gonna be like
No,
April
it's
2024 shortly, you know, I hope.
so you don't have no designs or nothing now that we've. looked
No.
at.
I mean, they had, I could send those, it's like 50 pages of what they. There's not measurements and everything, but it was, you know, what they
Mhm.
are actually gonna do, move the bathrooms around inside that building.
This is similar to what was put in front of us a couple of years ago when we were starting looking at potential uses for ARPA funds.
I wasn't here, I don't know that.
Okay.
So they're not tearing.
I remember Rick coming in
No,
front of us
they-
with a
Just
drawing and
Yeah,
whatnot.
so I remember that.
Just
And
revamping
a
everything.
price tag of
It was just-
over $1 million.
Yeah, it was-
Is this in line with any of that?
I don't know.
Okay,
This, I believe, is all new.
yeah,
It was started a few years back and no one ever followed through with it.
okay.
So this is all, we worked all last winter on it with Troyer, and they were out there. Pictures, measuring, you know, so I mean, I have a basic floor plan and what they're gonna do. It is deemed historical, so we cannot tear it down and,
Okay,
um,
that's what I heard. When we
they
sat
did
down.
say that it'll be a little more strict on what we can do and stuff, you know, to follow the historical rules, but.
Is it, since I haven't seen whatever the last revision of the plan is there enough space in there in the plan to like make that your office,
Yes,
locate your office there?
for season. Cause we're not gonna get into all of the heating and all of that, because that comes into a lot of codes, insulation, drop ceilings. And now we've taken the historical part away from it.
Okay,
So I'll be there, weather permitting, you know, like all summer, spring, summer, fall, pre-season. It just got into a lot more expense when we went into trying to heat it and all of that, cause there's just a lot more, cause it's just open right now, you know?
that's a hefty price tag for no Mechanical work.
Well, it's all the plumbing, electrical, everything's like,
In the winter, you probably shut the water and everything.
we do. We're gonna have like a little snack bar. In there, the restrooms, we're gonna try to tie it in with the bike club, the Trails Bike Club, have it kind of like an informational site, you know, people wanna put their advertisement in there, you know, for things like that.
Make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. These are these yours or hers?
We need to sign one, I just made copies to, do you want?
I need signed copy. Can you just pick them up from our office tomorrow?
Yeah.
Like,
It's not a hurry.
like 10-ish, give me till 10. Hey,
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have,
Sorry, I'm late.
yeah, right. Is there a motion to approve the minutes from Monday, November 20th, 2023?
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
That was because of,
we're praying for CCMG 2023-01, and that was a $800,000 project.
is there a motion to approve the vendor claims in the amount of $1,556,227.22?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
There a motion to approve the payroll claims in the amount of $286,247.62.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, that's what Sean said. You need one. He had a couple doors, the kids master wouldn't work, so. He didn't sign.
There a motion to approve the Annex 2 key for Sean Matros.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Then you guys want to add these to the holidays that we had already approved for next year?
It's just above lunch hour, right?
Yes, yep, just to close from noon to 1.
What motion to add? From noon to 1 on April 24th and from noon to 1 on October 16th. To the holiday calendar for Administrative Professionals Day and Bosses Day respectively.
Motion and is there a second?
You can, that a motion?
Yeah.
Second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
Do not want this slaughter tonight, do we?
Thanks.
No, this was just the information we'd asked for.
Top one, I believe, the one she brought to us.
Mhm.
The initial was for the HP, I thought. This, the top one is in Epson.
Oh, yeah, HP.
But gonna ask Stanley which one he would prefer to have to support going forward.
Okay.
But assuming there's no preference, we'll probably go with the cheaper one. But that'll come in front of us for an official decision at our
You want me to go on your, what agenda?
next
Yeah,
meeting,
Yeah,
next meeting.
good, Mark,
No,
Justin,
No, you got my update earlier about that case. That was the only thing that I really had to offer, so.
anything? Is anyone from the public?
You wanna go first? Yours is quicker.
Have you had a chance to look into the Stark County Code of Ethics and who it's applicable to and not applicable to yet?
So there is a code of ethics policy for the council.
But there's not for the commission.
Not, that wasn't signed. either.
Right, yes, I need to find, the signed copy is prior to me getting in there. So it is in the minutes and they did approve it. I just have to find the signed
Yeah.
copy. But it's only for the council.
Mhm.
Is there a reason why it's only for the council?
I don't know, before I got in, I'm not sure.
And I know that was relating to, when Nicola was elected.
what was it? It wasn't before that?
That was like, it was right,
December 2018 it was passed.
Right.
Okay.
There's one for the commission.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's when he started all the. Yes,
Mhm.
it's called code of conduct,
Yeah,
is what it's officially called, right? I think it's called code,
I think that's what it was.
but nothing, there's nothing else for.
Right. No other elected official.
Justin, do you know in other towns, I mean, in other counties that you're supporting, do they typically have a code of conduct?
Gosh. I want to say the city of Knox, I don't represent the city of Knox, but they reached out a couple of years ago about a code of conduct. And at that time, I was collaborating with Pulaski County because they were thinking about adopting one, but those are the only two, and I'm not sure if the city adopted one, they may have.
Okay.
So they were having issues, I think, with attendance. So they may have one. I don't think Pulaski County formally implemented one,
Okay.
but those are the only two that come to mind. I mean, there is a statute that allows elected members to expel a current elected member, which usually devolves into litigation, but. Precursor to that is like you're suggesting having some type of rules that everybody signs off on, and if you violate those rules, then that's the predicate for expulsion.
Right,
Those are the only instances that I know of.
The code of conduct for the council doesn't really read about expulsion, more letter of Doesn't seem like to me that the intent of that code is its only purpose is expulsion.
Sure.
It's
I
more of an official reprimand sort of thing than it is an expulsion thing.
I can ask other counties, like ask other auditors if you want me to get examples.
Just to see. So we know.
I thought when you brought that back then, it was everybody.
No,
Thanks.
that was just the,
Was it? Okay.
since he was on that board and.
Right, yeah, I knew it would do with that, but I thought it was any elected official.
Yep.
Should be any elected official in my opinion. Your turn.
okay, so I have a couple of things. So first off, after last meeting, we had a conversation with the sheriff's department. In regards to their canine. It started because they were talking about dog food. A couple of things that we've noticed. The first thing we've noticed when we got here is the county does not have any microchip scanners anywhere. So if an officer were to find a lost dog, they can't scan the dog. And the problem with that is most people find lost dogs when the vets are closed. So then they can't take it somewhere to get it scanned. And what's happening, and we're seeing it all over the country, not just Stark County, is the people that are finding the dogs, because all of our shelters are so full, they can't hold them overnight. So then they're just letting them go again. So we've put in some requests with a couple of the scanner companies to see if we can get a couple donated to the county.
Haven't heard anything.
We haven't heard anything yet, but we're hopeful we can get a couple donated. So I'm going on a trend here that you're gonna see here as we go. We're also trying to get donated dog food for the canine officers. So my hope is that you guys care as much as I do about our canine officers. We have two.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys are aware, but we only have one ballistics vest for our canine officers. We do not have two. We put in a request.
Yeah.
I'm
we
sorry.
should-
I thought they had
Just
both.
one.
According to the sheriff, just one.
Just
Really?
one. One of them does not have a ballistics vest.
Now, we did not clarify, it is possible that the other canine officer prefers not to use one, that there is, that is a
There is
possibility,
that,
we did not
but-
clarify that,
But
but.
when we asked, they did say, well, the handler that has the dog without one, they did put in a request through a company that we know that does donations of the vests. There's no guarantee that we'll get one. Takes about 30 days. If we don't,
We don't hear anything on that, we have a couple other places.
we're gonna
we
try a
can
couple
contact.
other places.
Okay.
If we can't, the average cost of them is anywhere from 1,400 to 1,900. So I'd like to just put that on the radar, that if we can't get one donated, can we look into somewhere coming up with the funds to ensure that our
That's
officers are
something we
protected?
should have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then in
I'm
with,
surprised we don't have it, given your previous fundraising efforts.
Right, right. Cause I thought they did even have some.
Yeah,
donated, but
even
they
if
might
we
be
were to
outdated.
right, even
They're
if we could
outdated.
do like a local fundraising where
Or,
we
or
could
the
get half.
old one got trashed. or
Travel,
used
yeah,
or
something
whatever.
could have happened. And then in with that, what we discovered was that there is one thing that they would really like to have, and that is a kennel at the sheriff's department for hot days, for them to be able to put the dogs in a kennel. And also when the handlers are on vacation, they need a place to take the dogs. So we started looking into just the regular old kennels. The problem with the regular kennels is they're not weatherproof. They're not really the best for a dog to stay
Those
in.
Canvas tops and
Tops,
the top,
these
they
are
last
canine
maybe a
officers,
year,
right?
maybe
They're,
two.
yeah, they're not gonna last. So we started looking into I don't know if you guys have seen the portable shed places have the kennels. So we looked into getting some prices. I've only gotten one for the 3-run unit. Now we only have 2 dogs, but the 3-run unit, it's about $6,000. The nice thing is it has indoor, outdoor, it's covered. There's no way the dog's getting out of it. You know, it's got an actual top to it. It's got a bottom. There's no work, right? They
Because
pick it up, they deliver it, you're done.
Because it's a structure in the future, if
If
they,
they wanted
they
to
wanted
heat
to
it
heat
or
cool
cool
it,
it, they
could.
could. I did get a quote from them. That one was 6,000. For 2-run, it's 5,000. So to me, we may expand our department, you might as well go with the 6. So again, putting it on the radar, is that something that we could look at funding?
I think the sheriff should take out his comment.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
They got money in commissary, it's just the sheriff's portion of money,
Is that something the farm could build or no?
yeah, and then we got the farm.
Okay,
Might even mention that.
Yeah,
Okay.
Farm bill,
okay,
cause they're all doing stuff, doing.
right. I mean, they made it sound like maybe whatever their, the money that they have, that's probably earmarked for other things, and this is kind of we'd really like to have one of these,
Right.
but they
I
don't
would-
necessarily
I
want
would
it.
think the sheriff has the resources to satisfy a wish list like that.
And we're not against none of that
Right.
at all.
Yeah.
Well, and like I said, we can go back to the sheriff. My question was, if for some reason they're not okay with funding it, are we as a county willing to, maybe we can get the community to step forward, donate half, and then the county match half,
Potentially, yeah.
something like that.
I would rather try and get the stuff donated rather than the sheriff have to.
Use their
I mean,
money.
we've been working without it for how long, so if we gotta wait
Yeah,
30, 60
absolutely.
days.
Always
to get
got
something
it
donated.
Which
The
is.
sheriff's always had a counselor, and he choose, you know what I mean, he can choose.
Right, but I mean, he doesn't have it now.
Yeah,
Right.
it's surprising to me that these are things that were never addressed,
Right.
given how long we've
And again,
had.
it's us bringing it to you, so,
Yeah.
it's just our kind of, looking on the back end
Uh-huh.
to see what we can do. There were a couple other wish list items, but those are the things that I think were the most important.
Yeah, they sound very important, yes.
Yeah, so I mean, one was a tub, just because when the dogs get gross, then they gotta take them home. in the car stinky. So, a way to wash the dogs. But again, those are little things. I'm more worried about making sure that the dogs have what they need. So,
Yeah,
Yeah, it's definitely an issue we need to pursue, I would say.
yeah.
well, we can go back to the sheriff and just double check
Yeah.
why maybe they haven't used the commissary money for it. And is that just not something that they've really.
Ask about the farm too, see. if they
Yeah,
have farm.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea, but again, then they still need the supplies.
Well, yeah,
So,
but
but
it's like
that's
a
gonna
lot
be cheaper.
Yeah,
Yeah, if they can build it, then that's gonna definitely be cheaper for them, so,
'cause I think there's 6 or 8 guys work on the farm all, year
Okay.
round.
okay,
And that gives them something to do instead.
that's true, that's true, so.
And getting materials donated would be easier to get.
Yeah, shed donated, yeah,
Yeah,
Yep.
right.
okay, so, and then the only other thing that I have is we're going into the new year. What can we do about? I'll start with just commissioners and I'm gonna address it with the council is the meetings. I mean, 9 AM, nobody can attend a 9 AM meeting when things are being brought to light. Most
5
people are at work and then
5
even
o'clock's
5 o'clock is hard because most people don't get off work till 5 o'clock. So, can we look at next year changing the time of these meetings so that the general public that does want to attend can attend?
Well, that's
hard to make it.
Yeah, I mean, so,
Yeah.
yeah,
We
maybe,
got for a lawyer.
yeah,
well,
I mean, he
but
accommodating his schedule, and I know, I like the 9:30 meetings are my idea behind that, and again, I'm just speaking for myself, my rationale for it was to have those meetings be more for when our department heads or regular employees have to bring something out, that they plan ahead for it and don't need to come in last minute after hours to address us.
the only
and
problem
then-
is then the general public doesn't get a chance to comment.
Well, they still get. Well, no, but we're still meeting our obligation to allow you all to observe and report. So,
After the fact, online, that's not the same as us being able to ask questions.
I think
During
it's
the
saying you guys got one meeting a month and so does our
Yeah.
employees got one meeting a month that they can attend.
I think the one, at least the one, we're at 5, I mean, we can't move it to 6, I mean, but I wanna limit.
yeah, and if we need,
I don't,
To
I
move
wouldn't
that one
wanna
to a
run like
different
late
evening.
into the night, that would be my
Right. Yeah.
only thing.
yeah, 6 o'clock is probably a better time. But then we need to move it to a different day to accommodate.
I feel bad, and I brought this so far, I feel bad that everybody's trying to accommodate my schedule, I do.
Well, that was part of your agreement, though.
Yeah, I know, but I still feel bad that 7 and 3 people are accommodating one. If it is possible, maybe on a different day, I mean, hey, I'm open to that, I'll make it work, if you guys wanna move it to a different day. Of the 39th out of the month. Yeah.
The only thing I say about the morning meeting, I can't make it either, I can barely make our meeting. The only good thing about having it then is that something has to come to the council.
Yeah.
Exactly, that's,
do it.
that was,
That's really the benefit.
Right,
And I
that
can
helps a
see
lot.
that.
So,
Yeah.
so maybe if you guys change your meeting date, maybe we can change our meeting date to like, if you guys change it to Tuesday, maybe we can change it to Wednesday.
Cause I'm gonna ask them the same thing. at the
Because,
next meeting.
because I don't think we wanna have to have a meeting after you guys, because you never know how long yours is gonna end, and we definitely don't know how long ours is gonna end.
right, yeah,
Right now, I'm with Mark on the day, when I was commissioner, last time they changed it to night to help me out. And, I had more complaints over not having a day meeting, we had 2 night meetings.
Yeah.
And that's,
Well, the night meeting would, 6 o'clock would be a better time.
Yeah,
yeah.
the time I'm okay.
I mean, for
That-
the,
that I-
then I could eat before I go in and have to eat McDonald's on
Right.
the way home.
Right.
right,
That's no reason right there.
yeah, exactly, so. But yeah, and I just know that, again, on a lot of the social media, that's what we've heard is, oh, I'd love to go, but. I'm not home from work.
Yeah,
I'm still trying to get home. And to your point, if you guys schedule things so that it is, I mean, again, we'll still try to come because we like to hear what's going on. But maybe it's not as crucial, or maybe, if we just keep in mind with some of the things that maybe you haven't had a chance to get public comment on, maybe we don't vote on it. Or, you don't, if it's something major, it gets pushed to an evening meeting.
Oh, yeah, we could do that, I mean,
Yeah.
we-
I kind of like the morning meeting, like Todd saying, We got something and they can answer that evening if we have to.
Right.
That's the only plus.
Right.
Yeah, it's the
So we're gonna
only,
get rid of 4:30 because
Other than that, it was just all about Justin.
all about what?
All about
Hey,
Justin.
it-
Oh,
When we can
Very-
just.
very important to have him
Too much
present.
work, Justin, maybe you need to.
Oh, I know, you're telling my secretary say that all the time.
How's
Maybe-
your
maybe-
intern coming along?
Which one?
Oh, any of them?
Any of them? Well,
Didn't you have
both-
a couple of those on?
two of them, yeah. Well, yeah, they're both going to law school next year, so
Okay,
a 3-year wait.
all right, well then.
3-year wait.
They're local though. They're trying to get those local people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll work out. Yeah, when does your contract expire?
2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just in time for them to graduate, right?
They can steal it from me, yeah.
That's all we have.
Thank you for bringing the sheriff's.
Yeah, that's important. I think we need to address that.
Any other business?
Thank you for the work that's being done on my office. If you guys haven't been up there, you can take a look. They got the, trim painted and the walls in the conference room painted today.
How was the dust during construction?
We haven't had any issues with that this time at all. They've taped it off, so, but it of course is the conference room and the one bathroom, and they got it all taped off, so it's not coming in the rest of the office.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
It's actually going along pretty well.
Good.
Yeah,
I do have one thing, and I brought this up before. I don't wanna throw anybody or anything under the bus, okay? But you need to really, really keep an eye on Troyer. And I'll tell you why. Because last year they bailed out on the city of Plymouth. They bailed out on Culver. They bailed out on St. Joe County.
Well, and
That's
I mean, I wasn't impressed with what,
Right. in the
How our
contract,
options wound
we
up
ended
being
up-
with the-
We ended up with the next. That's
yes,
how I know.
that's what I'm talking about.
Pardon me?
What's Troyer doing for us?
The
The parks?
yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought that's what she
Yeah.
said, but it was a little hard to hear.
They handed
I
out.
mean, just,
people
you
like
know-
Miller project,
Yeah, there's
And that was,
a lot, we wound up with a lot less than what
Yeah.
we had planned on having.
yeah.
Granted, yeah, there was COVID problem.
Pardon me?
They've been working on this for over a year. haven't
We should have gotten more than a gravel
It's been a
parking
while.
lot.
they? Right.
And they were late on things and,
Yeah.
yeah.
But my phone just went off.
Too late now.
Well, I mean, we're only paying for the engineering work,
Right.
so we might be able to find a different firm for project management, depending on how the engineering work goes.
Right.
Just a little bit of friendly
Yeah, exactly.
inside knowledge.
Yeah, thank you. Sir, did you have anything for us?
Yeah, my name is Jerry Sherwood, and I got this letter from the planning commission. And it's a little background there is, I live on 200 East. And about 20, 30 years ago, I bought a mobile home a mile south of me there. And I rented it for about 28 years. And what I did, I put new windows and new furnace and air conditioning and doors in it. And then I sold it about 4 years ago. And then when I sold it, the guy says, you didn't want the trailer. So anyhow, I got the trailer back again, but I came to the planning commission and they said, it's gotta be an 85. And you gotta get a permit. And I says, well, okay, it passed then. So then I was trying to buy an acre of ground just east, south, north of the Round Lake Church. And I didn't get it bought. And then, of course, the trailer sat there. And then the rules changed on the permits. And you had to have a 90, a 91. It'd be the oldest you could put in there. So then I couldn't get a permit. And then it sat there a while again. And then now, I incorporated my incorporation in 1992. And then I dissolved my corporation in 2020. But now what I'm doing, I'm eliminating all my assets. And instead of having an auction sale, I just, sell a few at a time. Now I'm cleaning out my garages and cleaning out the trailer. And I got 2 guys hired that I on call, that when I got 3 or 4 days work to do, like cleaning up, they usually make the appointment. Now, what my problem is getting cold weather, and I can't get it, but what I'm gonna do now, instead of me tearing it down, I'm gonna. But I can give it to a guy if he'll demolish it, salvage it, for it, see. So I can get rid of the trailer now, but I need to, I can't do it in this cold weather. So I need some more time. And this summer, I know I can get rid of it, or even depends on how I can get the help.
I think pertaining, if you need more time, I think you'd have to go in front of the planning commission to actually have them vote on giving you more time.
Yeah, they only give me 30 days and till January, but I can't do nothing.
Yeah.
I can't.
When was the
How-
last time you talked?
Huh?
When was the last time you talked?
Last week.
And they only give you till January?
Well, they're not having.
Well, they give me,
Okay,
they give me 3 months. I said, I get the warm weather and I can get my help. I'm willing to get rid of it.
right.
And of course, I don't know if any of you see, I know the Tessics from
Mhm.
years ago,
Okay.
but I keep my place pretty clean and up to date. And of course, since then I sold the farm, but then I still do the roadways and keep it up to date.
Right.
But in this situation where I had a place bought where I could put the trailer on, but then the deal fell through. In other words, I wound up with a trailer, and then it just didn't work out. But now what I got to do is I got to get rid of it. See?
Right.
And instead of me trying to salvage it, I'm just going to give it to a guy, and he'll salvage it. And he may be able to get it out there in January, but if he don't, they got some stiff penalties on there.
But you're saying they give you said January 1st, now you're saying they give you 90 days?
No,
So you
when I went in there, I told them I could, in 6 months I could get rid of it.
Right.
And they said, no, we want to give you 30. So my 30 days is up and this was in October,
Okay.
but I was in there in October, but then I had 60 days from October. So it's up in January.
Yeah.
But I can't, I've been doing all the work myself. Of course, I hire a couple of guys and we work 3 or 4 days sometimes at a time. But the cold weather it's hard to get them to work outside.
You say they're not having no meeting, Rachel?
No, not in December, they're not.
So if I could just get to warm weather and get this. I'm willing to get.
Right.
I thought it was just.
Yeah, it might be just
It might
the
be, but maybe they.
I would assume the planning commission will have a meeting.
I thought she told one day she wanted not till January.
Do you want me to check that real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm willing to get rid of it and they just need the weather
Right.
and I know I can get somebody to take it forward.
Right. Just need a little more time on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're looking at me.
Well, you're the one that wanted to read the letter.
Yeah, so. I think 90 days, but where that 90 days comes from, that's the maximum allowable period you can give somebody under the unsafe building ordinance, or the unsafe building statute in Indiana to clean up a piece of dilapidated property. Planning commission, if you. Right, explain this in a way that's not like too legalese. So the planning commission can extend your period if you go in and request that they extend the period. to clean up your property. And they're usually pretty good about working with people if they know you're actively working to pick it up. The reason they gave you 90 days to begin with is because when they give you a first notice of violation of
No,
this,
they didn't give me, yeah, 90 days, yeah.
when you send out a first notice under state statute, I think you can only give up to 90 days. You can give as little as 30, I think, as many as 90 to clean up property if it's deemed unsafe. But if you go in and request an extension, they can give you the extension. So that's where that period comes from. Just like they suggested, if there's no bidding in December, and it's the second Wednesday of the month, is that right?
Yeah.
Second Wednesday of the month, so second Wednesday in January. Go into the planning commission, talk with Mary in the building inspector's office, ask her to get on the agenda and request an extension of the time period to clean up your property.
They're having a BZA meeting, but not a planning.
Okay. So the planning commission could not act on this anyway until January because they're not meeting in December. So if you call Mary Beaver in the building inspector's office and request an extension that has to be put on the agenda in January, then they can consider that request at that time. And you've got like Charlie's on the planning commission. You've got a couple of county council members on there. And so nothing can be done even if they wanted to without meeting. They're not meeting until January. So that's what I would recommend.
Here's Mary's number too.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Okay, then, see, I'm working on it now. I'm cleaning it up and taking out the stuff that Catholic Church down here, but, it's so slow and.
Right.
Time I get 4 hours in.
Right.
I'm ready to go to McDonald's.
Usually they see you working on it to help with the extension. When they see you're working on it, also helps with the extension.
Yeah, well, I've been working on it, for the last 5 years, I mean, everything. Instead of having an auction sale when I closed out, I just sold it piece by piece because, the auction sales, you don't come out very good.
Right.
Yeah, well, again, I thank you. Both.
Thank you.
Any other business for us?